Thank you for having me, everybody.
I'm Heather, I'm the facilitator for the table. My only role is to make sure we have a nice dialogue. And I ask you to please keep your responses to any questions about 3 minutes or less, then we can have time for a variety of questions. So,
Great.
let's see, who haven't heard too much from? Anne, do you want to ask the question first?
Well, we've asked you before, and I'll ask you this time, what is your position on the death penalty since there's it's coming up
When you say coming up the level this month, just as a curiosity, what are you referencing? I don't
Well,
know.
someone is to be executed.
Oh, there's an
That's
explanation.
why I was interested in the death penalty. Your view on that, because
Sure. 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 I am mixed on my thoughts on the death penalty. Part of me, and probably prior to doing what I'm doing now, would have said, for certain crimes, the crimes that are traditionally known for, that I think it's an appropriate punishment. On the other hand, I do know, for example, that it costs far more money to actually have someone go all the way to be executed as opposed to life in prison, which counter to what often the rhetoric is. I am very concerned about the idea of wrongfully convicting people and then having them be sentenced to death. I'm not sure, difficult question, I'm not sure how life in prison makes that person's life much better, but I am concerned about that. There are certain, I think more on a federal level, crimes that I would certainly still always be supportive of the death penalty for treason and things of that nature, and I'm comfortable with that. So I think I would want to take a very honest look at the situation and assess it, but I would lean towards supporting it, but I would be open-minded to.
The states, because I think more than half the states still has the death penalty. So it's something that the state must decide, and you may get that opportunity to say who I should be allowed to kill people and choose.
What I think is what I try to summarize is, while originally I was probably an advocate of the death penalty, I now probably more open-minded as to being educated of the arguments of eliminating it. But I'd have to be involved and have more information.
Especially if it's proven that it's not a deterrent. It doesn't stop anybody from doing anything. The fear of the death penalty, they're going to make their decision.
Ask a new question. I have a question, please.
Sure, my position in essence. Sure. A couple things. As far as gun control goes, there are issues in the country. There is a problem. I am proudly on the board of NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. I am a believer that most of the problems of guns, whether they, particularly the violent, not accidents, but the violent problems, whether it's individual shootings, crime, and mass shootings and things of that nature, I am strongly convinced that the underlying root cause has its aligns with mental illness, and that we need to focus on treating that. I also believe on the gun issue that education and training is very, very important as well. In other words, to society, whether it be to youth in whatever form it may be, to again educate and train. I would be disingenuous, and therefore I will not do that, to look any of you in the eyes and say anything other than I am a pro-Second Amendment person, and I am that type of person. So while I do see issues that need to be addressed, and like anything, have to balance within be reasonable, but I want to make clear, and I don't want to mislead anybody, that I am a strong advocate for Second Amendment rights.
Mental health.
Say again.
What's the second one? I mean, to
I do believe if you're getting at, I do believe it means that it is the right of individuals to own weapons, firearms. I do not believe that it is specific to maintaining a militia or a National Guard at the state level. It is a right of individuals. I do believe that.
Any kind of firearm.
I don't think automatic weapons, but if you're asking me, do I think semi-automatic weapons, assault-style weapons, AR-15s that are semi-automatic, I think they should be legal. I would never advocate
They
for
should be
taking
what?
legal.
Legal.
I would never advocate for a restriction on that.
To be used for,
Any purpose, any legal purpose.
well, what legal purpose could there possibly be?
Target shooting, hunting, whatever, sportsmanship.
Nobody used automatic.
In our parks,
I didn't say automatic. I just want to make clear I did not
Well,
say
semi-automatic, people don't use semi-automatic weapons for that kind of thing.
Semi-automatic weapon means one pull of the trigger, one shot. That is what everybody uses. That's the only legal weapon in America. There is no automatic weapon that's legal.
Oh, I thought you included AR-15.
An
Am I
AR-15
missing something?
is a civilian version of a military M16. It is semi-automatic, meaning one pull of the trigger, one round out the barrel. So, I,
Louder than I intended. Sorry.
no, it's okay. I actually, is even though I've been an NRA member for a long time and grew up in the military and grew up in that culture, I don't exactly understand or know the issue. I will say this though, if it's a loophole around for the sole purpose of taking a semi-automatic weapon and turning it into an automatic weapon, I would look very strongly at, look very strongly at that issue and taking that away. I don't exactly know the mechanism of it and whatnot, and if there are any other legitimate purposes of it other than just turning it into an automatic weapon. But if that's all that it is, and I look at the pros and cons, that is one I've thought through that exact question. That if it's basically its sole purpose is only convert a semi-automatic weapon into an automatic, I would be against them.
I'd like to ask you about your pro-life. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, actually, kind of related to that. So, in your response, you say that you do not support laws that allow a legal minor to be able to obtain an abortion without parental consent. My question is, why, if I understand your question correctly, do you believe that a father's opinion should supersede his daughter's right to bodily autonomy?
First off, it's a very difficult issue and tough question. I think if people are not willing to recognize that, you're not being reasonable. So it's a tough question. But I do think in that regard, there are lots of legal rights that people under the age of 18 do not have. And in this regard, I think the right to, as the law stands now, to go get an abortion should be one of those rights that a minor, as defined as someone under the age of 18, should not be able to do it. Whether you're saying father, mother, parental consent, it's not a father issue. It's not parental consent, whoever that may be. That's my position on that.
so you believe in forced birth?
State mandated.
If you're pregnant, I'm going to force you to have a birth.
While you
Not
talking
your choice.
in the context of a minor, is
I'm
that
just talking about it, yeah.
sure? Well, again, I didn't say that the minor should not be able to get an abortion under the current state of the law. I said that the minor ought to be able to go through the parents and not be able to do it without parental consent. So it's not a forced birth. Just the minor has to go and as any child should do with a major life issue, and an 18-year-old, although
Could I have your
they're
attention,
young adults,
please?
they should have to go to their
Everyone, I'm
parents.
sorry to interrupt. It's now almost 8 o'clock, and we've managed to get a little bit behind.